I was going to comment on the rice tariffs, but we do have breaking news again, which is the Supreme Court required petitioners Vice President Sara Duterte and attorney Israelito Torreon to comment on the motion of reconsideration filed by the House within a non-extendable period of 10 days from notice. So again, the House filed the motion of reconsideration yesterday, citing the sole authority to initiate an impeachment. What did House Speaker Martin Romualdez say? To dissent is not to...
I forget the word.
But it was nicely phrased. It was very well worded, very diplomatic, very respectful, and it was coursed through the office of the Solicitor General.
Hindi siya mako-contempt kahit hindi siya dinarian.
Para through OSG na lang, no? OSG Darlene Berberabe. And then today...
Motion din yung motion for intervention. Yung bayan. And file a motion.
Yes, they also filed a separate motion for reconsideration. But today, the Supreme Court just now asked the petitioners, the original petitioners, Sara Duterte and Israelito Torreon, to comment on the motion within a non-extendable 10 days period.
So that pushes.
And may calendar days ba yun o ano yun?
10
Usually
it just
calendar
says
days,
10 days from notice. So
but usually it's calendar
should be
days.
Calendar days,
Calendar
not
days.
session days, not working days.
Lumalabas na si Jose Marichan, hindi pa rin tayo tapos dito sa no?
Ang question is what happens tomorrow.
Controversial to.
Oh, pero ang question is what happens tomorrow kasi 'di ba in limbo lahat at least as far as the Supreme Court is concerned. Tapos the Senate is set to deliberate tomorrow and possibly vote on what to do with
medyo
impeachment.
lumalakas daw na baka i-defer din nila dahil nga dyan sa mga yan.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
May survey ngayon yung OCTA bumaba yung Senate saka yung House tumaas yung trust ratings. Meron.
How big was the jump?
Well, we've got also today, maybe...
About 7, ano?
Oh, maybe because of that. Also today, you have Senators Bam Aquino and Risa Ontiveros saying that the Senate should withhold its August 6th vote on the matter. They're saying now that there's an MR filed by the House, there's no need for the Senate to rush its decision. Because what are we expecting tomorrow if they do get together and do a plenary session on this? We are expecting them to vote on the matter. And last we heard, the vast majority of the upper chamber is in favor of abiding by the Supreme Court ruling.
It does sound funny. They have to vote on whether or not to follow the Supreme Court.
It does. We were talking about this. It raises a lot of
okay, we agree
questions.
to follow, or we not to follow?
Or should we just do our own thing? Do we have enough authority? But again, we come back to the point that these are co-equal branches of government, supposedly, right? And even now, there's a tug of war between the House. There's a tug of war between the House and the Supreme Court over whether the House basically has the authority to supersede. They according to them, they did everything by the book, right? Everything was constitutionally sound.
And questions over appreciation of facts.
Yes. Again, respectfully.
Respectfully.
In the letter, they said respectfully. Because one of the things they cited was the fact that the Supreme Court went by media reports
the
of the
ABS-CBN report.
sequence, the ABS-CBN report on the sequence of events.
Whereas the official record in the House
Tama nga naman.
says otherwise.
Oo nga. I mean, if you
So,
go by...
Kahirap yung tinanong na lang sana ng Supreme Court, yung House.
Yes.
Ano ba yung timeline niya?
To hand over the official record of events, the official timeline of events, right?
Especially because they didn't hold the oral arguments. Dapat mas yung record keeping nila, di ba? Mas accurate.
Yeah.
But anyway, yung order ngayon ng Supreme Court, it shows that the ruling is not final.
That's correct. Yeah, that's
yung order ngayon, na araw na to.
That's the
Kasi yan
implication
ang
of things.
sasabihin eh.
You order to
May
respond.
hinihingi ka pa nga eh.
Kasi there was a discussion
Yeah, to the
earlier
MR.
na it's final na raw and executory, therefore there should
executory.
be no room for an MR.
Originally,
Pwede,
yes.
There was some discussion in the Senate. Eh.
Sorry, I may say that again.
Although, even before this, meron talagang 10-day period for filing a motion for reconsideration. Not a 10-day period, but I mean until August 10 sana. Eh ngayon, may ganyan na at may order ng Supreme Court. Obviously, it's not yet a final order.
So it's a recognition by the Supreme Court that the MR is being processed.
Not final. Oh.
But
Yeah.
again, what are the chances or what's the probability
That's a different.
that
That's a different.
high court composed of
kapag-
13 esteemed judges
That's a different chapter in
would
the.
change their minds about a ruling as significant as this, right?
Acknowledge na nagkamali siya dahil
Oo.
sa appreciation ng timeline.
Exactly.
Ng timeline lang.
Yeah.
They
Again,
don't know we violated the Constitution or anything.
Yeah. Again, for the benefit of people who are not familiar, when you talk about the timeline, ano yun, that was the timeline
And
of
between
February.
the first three complaints and the acceptance of the fourth complaint and the transmittal to the Senate.
Mhm. The timeline being, if you follow the House published timeline, at around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, February 5, the House voted, the plenary voted
Fourth.
on the 4th to have it sent to the Senate.
Yes.
And at around 5
Pagkatapos,
o'clock,
sa kanila in-archive.
around 5 o'clock, nakarating yung transmitted copy ng House dun sa Senado. Tapos at around 7 o'clock, nag-adjourn yung House and by so doing, technically na-archive na yung first three complaints.
And that is an issue
And then-
because we're debating the definition of initiate.
Initiate.
Ano yung na-initiate dito? Was it the first three? Were the first three initiated, which the Supreme Court sees as yes? Or was only the fourth complaint initiated?
Kasi if you follow the Supreme Court decision, the first three complaints were archived and therefore acted upon
Before daw the transmittal.
before the transmittal. So
Ang
magkabaliktad ang,
sinasabi ng
ang
House.
narrative nila.
Transmit muna na nagbutuhan muna kami doon sa fourth bago kami nag-archive ng first three.
Yeah.
So,
That is why
walang
some people are
1 year
saying
ban.
there's some misappreciation of the facts and the timeline.
Oo. Ganun lang naman eh. Kasi kasalanan na naman yan ng media. Mali-mali yung report natin. Pwede naman nila sabihin na pwede.
kasalanan ng
papayag na
mga-
kami. Sige, kami nagkamali.
Kasalanan ng Jaryo, Ami.
Mga bias kasi kayo.
Oo, kaya, payag na kami. Sige, okay lang. Mea culpa na kami. Mea culpa.
Mea
Pwede
culpa,
na kami.
mea
May
culpa.
culpa. But you know, it should be really easy to find out what really happened eh. Kasi
Yeah.
it's on the record.
Yeah, everything is documented. Even the exact,
Yeah.
the time, down to the exact